Labor Day weekend, the administration at Bethany College was trying to clean up racist messages on campus. Reporter Caitlin Sabert has more on the story.
So I feel like the college took very swift action immediately after the chalkings were found to notify the local authorities that this had happened. They took photographs of all of the messages, and then they were quickly removed from our campus.
Bethany's president, William Jones, made a Facebook post responding to the derogatory chalkings. Jones' family was personally attacked by the vandalists who later identified themselves as a white supremacist group. Although these events can't be undone, Goodwin hopes that the college will move forward in a positive direction.
Love for others, love for God and love for others has to prevail, and then that is the message that we're taking.
This comes around the same time as a racial social media post went viral at Kansas State last week, causing a similar backlash. Both campuses are highly diverse and are working on educating their student bodies. Universities across the country have started implementing clear bag policies at their stadiums, and K-State is no different. Last Saturday, at the first home football game of the season, this policy was put to the test. This week, I spoke with someone who helped bring the policy to life here at K-State. Right now, this parking lot is empty, but on game day, it is filled with fans from across the country. And these fans have traded in their purple bags for clear bags with K-State's clear bag policy. And K-State is not the only university taking these measures.
We are not the first collegiate institution, but we are among the first.
Scott believes that within the next year or two, most institutions across the country will be doing this as well.
It's intended to help our staff and fans enter the stadium more quickly with items that are visible within a clear bag.
And like any new policy, it takes time for everyone to adapt.
Honestly, after a couple of events, we're still working our way through that. We are learning as a staff, and our fans are still learning what can and can't come in.
And while fans adjust to this new policy, K-State believes that clear bags like this one right here will make a huge difference in our safety. Scott says that this policy is the first step of a two-step security implementation. The second step will come after the next July's concealed carry law goes into effect. Under Kansas law, K-State athletics would have to provide adequate security measures defined as metal detectors and armed law enforcement at any entrance if they choose to prevent concealed carry weapons from entering their venues.
So a year from now, it's not only clear bags, but it's very likely, as we study the issue now at football and basketball games in Bill Snyder Family Stadium and Brownledge Coliseum, that we would have metal detectors as well.
These future security measures are still being decided. Scott says that the athletic department at K-State is open to receiving feedback and comments from fans regarding current and future security procedures. For K-State students and fans, football games include a day full of tailgating and excitement. But for the K-State Campus Police Department, game days are a different story. Their main goal is to create a secure and controlled environment where fans can tailgate safely at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Prior to kickoff, they can be found patrolling the parking lot with a focus on underage drinking. They hope enforcing the drinking laws will decrease the number of alcohol-related incidents. But monitoring the parking lots is just one of the many roles K-State Police, like Lieutenant Bradley Millington, has on game day.
We are looking to enforce MIPs, and in the stadium we take care of everything that needs to be involved inside the stadium, including medical calls we assist with. We work with athletic staff on ejections and whatever else comes up in the game day.
With Election Day right around the corner, the Manhattan community is preparing for the big day. This week, volunteers for the League of Women Voters gathered at the Manhattan Public Library to discuss their plans on registering people for the Election Day, upcoming on November 8th. The mission of this nonpartisan political group is to encourage informed and active participation in the government. They hope to influence public policy through education and advocacy. On September 27th, these volunteers can be found across the community at places such as Manhattan High School, the Manhattan Public Library, and more.
The registration entails if people have moved in from another state or another county or moved within Manhattan, they need to register so they can vote in the election, either the general election or other primary elections.
Battle lines have been distinctly drawn in this year's presidential race, and sometimes the discussion gets heated. Tempers flare, anger rises, and the situation can get emotionally out of hand. Here at K-State, there are resources to help when temperatures rise, discussing any controversial topic. A discourse expert at the university says the conversation starts with understanding what the term civility actually means. This is a quote, civility is going to be intentional and has some modicum or minimum amount of awareness that the way you interact with someone should not be designed to make them feel insecure. Shank Hamlin adds that purposeful disrespect in regard to a political discussion can actually be destructive to democracy. She says this may cause people to stop asking questions and practice strategies of avoidance. Participants in a political discussion should also work to establish common ground. Quote, if we think that we always have to agree, we're in trouble. So we have to find ways to show respect at the same time that we disagree. Difficult and controversial topic areas within politics are bound to arise, making the way we handle debates important. Shank Hamlin says one way to show respect during a heated debate is to ask questions. She says this reinforces your interest and commitment to understanding another person's point of view. For more information about the Institute for Civil Discourse and Democracy, visit k-state.edu/ic-dd.
Coming up, KSU football looks to get their first win of the season. The volleyball team eyes 10 straight wins, and the inaugural home women's soccer match takes place. All that and more after the break. Jump on over to our Facebook page and give us a like to stay up to date on everything in the Manhattan area. We'll be right back after this short break.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
Dog person.
I'm a sports fan.
An artist.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I am finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified.
I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
This is the MHK All Day Sports Report. I'm Avery Osen. After losing the first game of the season on September 2nd to Stanford, the K-State football team tried to respond this past Saturday when they hosted Florida Atlantic inside Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Let's check out the highlights. The 2016 home opener as Bill Snyder begins his 25th season in Manhattan. First quarter, third down as K-State quarterback Jesse Ertz finds Dominique Heath to start the scoring for the Wildcats. Later in the quarter, Winston Dimmel runs it in from 5 yards for his first touchdown of the season. Ensuing possession for the Owls, quarterback Jason Driscoll is intercepted by Kendall Allen, who returns it to the Florida Atlantic 10-yard line, which sets up this run by Winston Dimmel again for his second of the game as the Wildcats lead 21-0. Second quarter, and it doesn't get any better for the Owls. Driscoll goes back but loses the football. It's recovered by K-State. That turnover leads to this 1-yard run by who? That's Winston Dimmel again. And he's not done just yet. Different play, same result later in the quarter as he scores his fourth touchdown, and K-State goes up 42-0 at the half. Second half now, Dominique Heath takes a punt return back for a touchdown. K-State wins 63-7, but Snyder still wasn't particularly happy with the performance.
We totally lack discipline to play this game. 7 of them on wide receivers. The rest of them holding calls. That's why I'm angry right now. And it's nothing more than discipline. And if you don't have discipline, you may get a ball game or two like this, but when you line up and play in our conference without discipline, you're going to be hanging your hat at the end of the day. You can, tell by the scoreboard. The defense put 21 points on the board in the first half. I don't know what we had, 42. Our offense only had half of them. The defense made that happen. That's how significant it is in the course of a ball game.
The Wildcats will host Missouri State on Saturday for Family Day at 6 p.m. And if you are going to the game, be sure to bring a rain jacket, as there is an 80% chance of rain at kickoff. It was the beginning of a new legacy last Friday as the K-State women's soccer team had their inaugural home soccer match against the University of Northern Iowa. See if we have some highlights for this here. First half, Dora Gallo with a shot from long distance, but it hits the crossbar. Score still tied at 0. Until this late in the first half, UNI capitalizes on a corner kick to give them a 1-0 lead going into halftime. Early second half, Hannah McDevitt with a nice shot from the corner of the penalty box to give the Panthers a 2-goal lead. How about this here, though? History on this highlight as Tatum Wagner scores the first ever goal for K-State soccer at home, but they fall 2-1. They will be back at home on Friday at 7 when they host the University of South Dakota. After not losing a senior last season, the KSU volleyball team started right where they left off from a year ago. They are 11-2 so far and had put a 9-game winning streak on the line on Wednesday night inside Ahern Fieldhouse when they began Big 12 play by hosting the Iowa State Cyclones. In the first set, Brenna Vogel with the kill. We'll have more on her in just a little bit. Still first set, Brooke Sasson with a service ace. Wildcats lead 9-5. Katie Reiniger smashes this one home, but KSU still loses the first set down 1-0. Second set now, Rhino does it again and gives K-State an early lead in the set. Later in the set, Katie Brand, a nice block, makes it look easy. The set's now tied at 1 apiece. The Wildcats dominate the third set and win it 25-17. Fourth set now, match point as a block from Alyssa Schulians ends it. K-State wins their 10th straight and are now 1-0 in Big 12 play. The Wildcats travel to Waco, Texas to take on Baylor at 2 on Sunday. And a major reason for the success of the Wildcats this season has been junior Brenna Vogel, who had a career-high 21 kills this past Saturday against Southern Miss. She was also named MVP of the Arkansas Invitational. Head coach Susie Fritz said she is probably the most athletic player on the team, but that shouldn't take away from her awe-inspiring work ethic and her ability to adapt and learn as the match goes on. She continued and said Brenna is probably one of the most coachable players on the team as well. Gretchen, they have a big match this next Saturday when they host Texas at 7 inside Ahern Fieldhouse. It's Pack the House night with tickets at just $1. Are you going to be there? Big match.
Yeah, I definitely will attend. Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back after a short break.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
I'm a dog person.
I'm a sports fan.
An artist.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I am finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
Welcome back to MHK All Day. Each year, the Kansas State Department of Education awards excellent educators by presenting them with the Teacher of the Year award. Wamego High School is home to its very own Region 1 finalist. MHK All Day's Juan Cisneros has more.
High school English professor Lori Stratton from Wamego High School is a finalist for the Kansas State 2017 Teacher of the Year.
It's very meaningful. I've been in education for 26 years as a teacher, and a couple years before that I worked for the district office at Great Bend, USD 428. And, you know, it's something I've given my life to. So to be able to represent the teachers in this region, that means a lot to me. Awards are really nice. They're great. But the best reward, of course, comes from the students. And if you can get the students to learn, or if they thank you, man, that's awesome. But teachers always have to be at their best. The stakes are just too high because, you know, the students need to learn. They're growing up and they're going to go out into the world. So we need to make sure that they are as prepared as possible. There are other things I could be doing where I would be able to live a different sort of lifestyle. I'd maybe be able to take a little bit nicer vacations and do some things like that. But, you know, our lives are made up of what we do with the minutes that we are alive, and I can't imagine really doing anything else outside of education.
Reporting for MHK All Day, I'm Juan Cisneros.
The Kansas State Department of Education will announce the Teacher of the Year in Wichita on November 19th. Fall is officially here, and the Flint Hills are known for countless community festivals and events to complement the season. With me now is reporter Michaela Gentine and special guest Karen Hibbard with the Manhattan Convention and Visitors Bureau. Michaela?
Thanks, Gretchen. This is Karen Hibbard with me, and she's the director of the Manhattan Convention and Visitors Bureau. You know, first off, can you tell us a little bit about what the CVB is?
Sure. The Convention and Visitors Bureau loves to welcome people into our community. We're all about getting visitors to come visit Manhattan and to help expand the local area economy. So when we have activities that are happening in Manhattan, it's a win for all.
You know, the first day of fall was just yesterday.
Yes.
So I know there are a ton of things on the CVB's radar. Can you tell me a little?
Sure.
A few events coming up?
Well, when fall happens, we automatically think, hey, it's football time as well. But the community also has a lot of other activities that take place. It's no coincidence that the Flint Hills Discovery Center is just opening a new display. It's called Going Home, Hidden Histories of the Flint Hills. So there's a lot of communities that have disappeared over the years. And so it's a new exhibit that opens this weekend. It'll be a really fun exhibit for people to go. If you've not been to the Discovery Center, it's a very appropriate facility for you to take your mom and dad to come in and go to the Discovery Center. Also, we're gearing up. It's that time of year that when we turn that calendar, next weekend is October, and there's all sorts of October festivals that happen. Wamego has the Oktoberfest that will begin next weekend. Also, for 43 years, the Hospital Auxiliary has held a pumpkin patch. It's a great craft fair that people come from all around. It becomes really an annual event for you to do a little bit of early Christmas shopping, for you to taste a little bit of fall food, for you just to really enjoy being outdoors and also just take in what makes Manhattan unique.
Now, I don't want you to seem too partial to anything, but is there anything you're really looking forward to this fall?
Oh, you know, I love the season change, because with the season change, then there's also new activities that come on, or those things that are the same, but they always have new offerings. There are many things that I enjoy personally, but I know that our visitors also enjoy as well. One thing that we'd be remiss and that we can never take for granted is the talent that we bring into our community. McCain has kicked off their new season and their McCain performances that are going on. I always look forward to taking advantage of the talent that comes into McCain. Also at the Manhattan Arts Center, at the C.L. Hoover Opera House in Junction City. Also, don't forget the Columbian Theater over in Wamego. So there's a great variety for you to be entertained. Also, if you just wanted to take a walk on our linear trail or ride your bike, it's a good time of year to get out because the weather's going to break it's soon, and it's a good time for you to get out and just enjoy in that way as well.
All right, great. That's all the time we really have right now. Thank you so much. We're going to swing it back to Gretchen.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Michaela and Karen. We'll be right back.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
I'm a dog person.
I'm a sports fan.
An artist.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I am finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
As we head into fall, some farmers might be confused why their fungicide had no effect on their corn crops this year. MHK reporter Sophia Woodard tells us why that might not be fungus on those leaves.
A new bacterial disease found in corn leaves was confirmed in late August. When traces of it were found in 2014, it was unidentifiable and even mistaken for the common fungal foliar disease called gray leaf spot. Now, the bacterial leaf streak has been observed in 9 states, including Kansas. By early September, it was observed in 12 counties, and the number continues to increase, the current number around 15 counties in Kansas alone.
If it's gray leaf spot, that gray leaf spot lesion blocks the transmission of that light, and we call that opaque. And when you hold the two side by side, it's really quite a stark contrast between the two.
While the effects that the bacterial leaf streak will have on crop yields is uncertain, the USDA has released an official statement stating that disease has no health risks to people or animals. Dr. Douglas Jardine, a plant pathologist at Kansas State University, advises farmers to learn how to identify the streak in order to avoid spending money on methods that would have no effect.
A gray leaf spot is a fungus disease, and we can treat that with a fungicide. Bacterial diseases like bacterial streak, fungicides don't work on bacteria. And because of misidentification, we've had documented cases of growers going out and applying a fungicide thinking they're controlling the fungal disease, and they get no results. And then later on it's determined that the reason they didn't get any results was because it was the bacteria disease. And that costs them $25 an acre. So if they have 1,000 acres of corn, that's $25,000 wasted if they would have sprayed their entire crop.
The leaf streak is believed to have been observed in South Africa, and Jardine suspects it came into the U.S. on imported corn seeds. Researchers are not sure how long it has been here in the U.S.
So there's probably not a lot that they can do yet this year, but next year, about a month or two after planting is when the symptoms will probably start to develop. And if they're suspicious that they have the disease, they can submit samples to the K-State Plant Disease Diagnostic Lab, and they can do that through any cooperative extension service office in the state, and there is one in every county. So they can take it into their local K-State extension office, and then it'll be forwarded to us, and we'll be able to make a positive diagnosis on it.
Reporting for MHK All Day, I'm Sophia Woodard.
The United States Department of Agriculture has stated that the disease presents no health risks to animals or people. Kansas State students have a new 24-hour study space. After budget cuts causing Hale Library to reduce its hours, the K-State Student Union governing body recently voted to keep their doors open a little bit longer. Starting September 25th, the Student Union will be open 24 hours Sunday through Thursday to provide students with a place to study. The newly renovated union includes new lounge seating, laptop bars, and computer lab space to accommodate students' needs. Retail areas, administration offices, and food services, and the bowling alley will maintain their regular hours of operation. So Avery, are you just so excited for game day coming up on Saturday?
Oh yeah, you can't beat game days in Manhattan, but it could be rainy, so make sure you bring your rain jacket if you're going to the game.
I know, I definitely will be crossing my fingers for no rain. Thanks guys, tune in next week when we'll highlight another local educator up for a prestigious award. We'll see you next week.
This is Channel 8 News.